Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Xbot. Hope you guys are doing absolutely wonderful today. In this video, we're going to be going over the best PS5 settings that you guys can use here in Black Ops Cold War. This is after the most recent update, and I want to share what I'm using in this game. I've had some success thus far. We've had some high kill gameplays. We've set a couple records. I did achieve all 100 kills in a game of team deathmatch here in Black Ops Cold War while playing with my teammates in Carnage. I obviously could not have done it without them. I'll leave a link to that video down in the description. We've dropped several nukes, and we've just had some success. I'm having a lot of fun with the multiplayer. I want to share what settings I'm using here after the 1.11 update in Black Ops Cold War and get you guys squared away. So let's jump into the footage and go over all my settings I'm using in Black Ops Cold War. Before we jump into all the settings, I just want to give you guys a quick update, a quick background on me as a player here in Black Ops Cold War. I feel like I'm a pretty strong public match player. I don't play a lot of league play. I don't play a lot of competitive, but I feel like I'm a pretty strong player whenever it comes to playing online public matches. So currently I'm sitting at just a little over 22,000 kills. I have a 2.15 KD and I have a 2.4 win-loss ratio. I have a pretty strong win-loss ratio because a lot of times whenever I do my live streams over on Twitch, I do play with viewers. I always try to have a full party whenever playing because I really believe sometimes that'll help with the skill-based matchmaking that is very thick in Black Ops Cold War. So if you guys ever want to jump in, if you want to play some games with me, catch me whenever I'm live. There's a link to my Twitch and my Discord in the description of this video. Become part of this community. It's definitely a vibe, and I would love to have you guys jump in and run some games with me sometime so we can get some wins, slay out some people in Black Ops Cold War. As for just some of the things I've done in the game, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I just want to show you guys some of the things I think are pretty credible. I've dropped 15 nuclears. I know that's nothing like crazy, but what I will say is crazy is how often I choke nuclears. So I've been on a brutal 30 times now, 25 plus kills, 30 times, and I've only locked in 15 nuclears. So from 25 kills to 30 kills, I've died half the time. As for relentlessness, 20 kills without dying. I've done that 53 times. I've gotten a 20 kill streak, and I've only been able to convert 15 of them into nukes. So while I feel like I'm a strong player, I'm also a nuclear choke artist as well. Pain. All right, guys, we're jumping into the best things that you guys can use here on console, mostly on PS5. First and foremost, the most important thing for those of you that might be new to PlayStation 5, I know a lot of people are going to be scooping up the consoles probably throughout the year because it's been so tough to get them. Make sure you guys are playing the PS5 version of the game. I know whenever I first loaded up my PS5, whenever I would go to my game here, whenever you go to game version, it was defaulting to a PS4 version of the game. Whenever you're playing a PS4 version of the game, you're not going to have access to all of the graphic settings, especially like 120 hertz if you're playing on a newer monitor and have the proper HDMI cables and all of that. So make sure you are playing the PS5 version of the game, especially those of you that are using digital. If you purchased on PS4 first and now have converted over to PS5, make sure you do that. As for the settings themselves, this is going to be pretty straightforward. I have made one of these videos before, but I want to make sure you guys are updated with what we're using after the most recent update. They've adjusted a few things, and I just want to keep you guys updated because I get asked a lot whenever I'm on live streams, whenever I do upload my videos and stuff like that. People will ask my sensitivity or what graphic settings I use to get 120 hertz while I'm playing, all that good stuff. So we're gonna cover all of that right now. So as for my sensitivities, these are most of my controller settings right off the start. I do play at a 7 horizontal, 6 vertical. I usually play a little bit lower sensitivity than some of these newer age players. I used to play competitive a lot back in the day, and I've always wanted to focus on having an accurate shot. I don't like my sensitivities to be causing me to be whipping around, looking around like super fast. I like having an accurate shot. Even whenever I build my class setups in Call of Duty, I always try to have solid accuracy, have an accurate shot, hit your bullets, and get the kills. That's always my goal. So those are my sensitivities that I use for that. For my aim down sight stick sensitivity, I use 1.2. For the stick sensitivity for high zoom, I use 1. My button layout, I'm using default. And before PS5, I would use a Scuff gaming controller that would give me the paddles on the back that I can have a little more versatility with the buttons that I'm pressing and stuff. But currently I'm still using a default PS5 controller. I do not have a Scuff yet because they haven't even rolled out scuffs for the PS5 yet, but rest assured, as soon as they do, I'll definitely be scooping one up because it adds a lot more versatility to being able to control my movement and whatnot while I'm playing. For my flip, for my R1 and R2, L1, L2, I keep that to default. I do not play inverted. I don't know if I know anyone that does. I believe my buddy Titties might. I'm not positive, but if any of you guys play inverted, let me know down in the comments because I'm always intrigued by that, because I always want to know what got you started playing inverted. But you know, because you had to start that somewhere. You had to learn it somewhere, some game, something. I want to know. My aim response curve type, I use standard. My controller vibration, I have it disabled. A lot of times whenever the game first releases, I play with controller vibration on because I get used to that muscle memory of what the controller vibration feels like, how long it takes to get that kill, what the time to kill feels like. So I believe even if you look back at some of my early best settings videos, I probably had a controller vibration on at that time. Now that the game's been out a couple months, I'm used to what the time to kill feels like, how many bullets it takes, and you know, just playing off that muscle memory. So now I play with controller vibration disabled so I can have the most accurate shot possible. I don't have to worry about my controller shaking in my hands, throwing off my joysticks, even just in the slightest bit. I know it's very, very minuscule, but I do play with controller vibration off now. For the trigger effect, I leave it enabled because it gives you like feedback for tactical elements in the game, as it says in the description. I like getting that feedback through the controller, through the triggers, so I do leave that enabled. For my vibration sensitivity, I'm playing at 90. My target aim assist, I am keeping that at enabled. Target aim assist mode, standard. Aim down sight assist, enabled. And for my airborne mantle behavior, I have that set to automatic because like whenever I'm next to an object or something, I want to be able to mantle as if I jump or I'm, you know, close to landing on it. I want to be able to automatically mantle in those scenarios. For my aim down sight behavior, I have it set to hold. My steady aim behavior, have it set to hold as well. For armor behavior, I have it set to apply 1. I believe those of you that might be playing modes that you have to apply armor, you probably are using apply all. But I really don't play any of those game modes much. I'm not playing a lot of Warzone right now. However, I may be dabbling with some Warzone here in the future, but I think that that setting would actually be probably changed in Warzone. So this might would play or cater to something like Fireteam Dirty Bomb. Maybe I'm not 100% positive, but all I know is in regular standard multiplayer, I'm not applying much armor. For my attack vehicle control mode, I have it set to aim based. As for the stick layout, I still have that set to default with all of my min and max input thresholds on both sticks. I keep this set to default as well. And the reason why I do that is because I've already adjusted my stick sensitivities and what the movement feels like. So I don't want to have to try to adjust to how far I would have to push the stick in or out to get certain movements and all of that good stuff. For my controller sounds, I have disabled that. I play with a headset. I don't need any audio coming out of my controller. I feel like that would be just more of a distraction. So if any of you guys are playing on a headset, just go ahead and disable controller sounds. You don't need that on PlayStation 5. For the auto move forward, I had that set to disabled. Auto sprint, I have it set to disabled as well. You don't want to be automatically sprinting everywhere that you go. Some situations that you get in, you might want to just, you know, slightly move up on the joystick and kind of like walk or just slowly approach the scenario. I don't think that you want to be auto sprinting in traditional multiplayer. For my sprint behavior, I have it set to toggle. For sprint cancels reload, I have it set to disabled. And the reason why I choose to disable it whenever a lot of people may enable it here is because if I find myself in a situation where I go to pick up a kill, right? And maybe I pick up 1 or 2 kills, maybe 3 kills, and maybe there's another player coming. Maybe there's a 4th enemy, a 3rd enemy, whatever. And I'm like, oh crap, if I can turn around and get around this corner, if I can sprint away, I can have a chance to maybe heal if I took damage, have a chance to possibly reload my gun and get out of that situation, right? So if I go to sprint away while I'm trying to reload my gun, I don't want it to be canceling my reload. You know, I don't want to like start reloading, go to sprint and try to get away, and then it stops reloading and it starts canceling, right? Of course I could get away maybe a little bit faster, but I would rather go ahead and keep that disabled. I can just go ahead and start moving away, start the sprint animation. I can continue reloading my gun and possibly get away and get myself some better positioning to pick up the kill if that player decides to push me or start looking for the next push that I'm going to make in the game. For my parachute auto deploy, I have it set to enabled. I don't play any modes of parachutes. For the equipment behavior, I have it set to hold. For my interaction, and reload behavior, I have it tap to reload. As for my graphic settings, this is what is huge for me personally. As you've seen in some of my videos and on my live streams, I think the gameplay and everything is looking pretty nice here on Black Ops Cold War. You know, whenever you set your game mode up, you've probably already set your safe area bounds, your colorblind modes, your brightness, all of that. But for me, I'm able to use 120 hertz refresh rate because of my monitor and my HDMI setup and my Elgato and all of that good stuff. You know, I did invest in a new monitor. Thankful to the support of my community. Thank you guys again for that. But we did have some goals to achieve to try to take my quality of my content to another level, and I'm very, very thankful for that. So I was able to get everything squared away, get it all hooked up. You know, I had to invest in some additional HDMI cables to have everything synced up to HDMI 2.1. But once we got all of that situated, the new monitor and everything, we are able to use 120 hertz refresh rate, and it's a major W. It's night and day because I played on 60 hertz for years, and I didn't even know how big of a difference was until I started playing on 120 hertz. And then one day I loaded up my stream or something, and it looked a little different. Like something was changed or whatever, and it kicked back to 60 hertz, and my mind was blown. Like, I felt like an old man. I was like, oh my gosh, I could not even take it. I was like, I can't even play 60 hertz. I ended up having to stop my stream, restart everything up, and get it all synced up to go back to 120 hertz. It was that big of a game changer. I'm not a drama queen. I'm not a Nancy. I'm not a Karen. I'm not a whatever, but it was freaking mind-blowing how big of a difference it was. I don't play split screen, so I'm not too worried about split screen orientation. For my field of view, I am playing at 100. I believe whenever the game first started, I was playing like roughly like 106, 103. I did dial that back just a little bit to 100. For my aim down sight field of view, I have it set to affected. For my vehicle aim field of view, I have it set to affected. And for my motion blur, I have that disabled. Motion blur is a major factor. You guys have got to disable this setting. And the reason why, if you look, whenever you go to your settings here, it shows a graphic on your screen. It's kind of behind my camera just a little bit, but once you go here, you'll see it. The thing is, whenever you have motion blur enabled, if you scan across an area, like looking like left to right, right to left, back and forth, your screen will be slightly blurred in that movement, in that transition. You don't want that, because in that time you're making that quick movement. If you see an enemy there, or if there's an enemy there, you may not see them because your screen's gonna be like blurry. They might blend in with the scenario. There's already like low visibility issues in Black Ops Cold War. I feel like it's tougher to see some players on a lot of maps. So you don't want to like handicap yourself anymore. So definitely disable that. Have the clearest image possible whenever you're looking around the map. I don't see why, I don't know of any reason why someone would want to play with motion blur on. For the audio, for my mute sound, I have it set to not muted. My master volume 100. All of these volumes here I have set to basically default. My audio presets, I'm using headphones. For my hit marker sound effect, I have it set to enabled. For the voice chat enabled, I want to hear the hot mics, the live comms, all of that. It's usually pretty good, as long as you don't get any like shitheads in the game wanting to say some dumb stuff. But you know, that's why there's a mute button for that. For the voice and text chat, I use game chat. Voice chat volume, I have it set to 2. Open mic sensitivity to 0, and microphone volume set to 1. I am now able to use a microphone with my entire setup, so I'm glad to have that option now and be able to talk in game. For my interface, I have disabled subtitles. I don't need them on. For crosshairs, I have it set to shown. My hit marker visuals shown. Damage based hit markers shown. I like to see whenever I'm possibly about to pick up a kill. As you can see on the screen, it has a graphic here of, you know, if you're doing some damage, it's white, but if you do a little bit more lethal hits with the hit markers, it will display as a red hit marker. And I like that visual feedback whenever I'm attempting to pick up a kill. For my health bars for ally and enemies, I leave my health bars on. I want to know if I'm shooting at an enemy and I'm putting damage on them, or if my teammate is shooting at an enemy and putting damage on them. I want to know how close they are to possibly being eliminated. I want to have a chance to maybe either help out with that, or maybe try to take the kill from them, or I want to see the damage that I'm doing, if it's just me shooting at them or something like that. And, you know, for the same situation, just, you know, kind of like in reverse, for my enemies or for my teammates, I want to be able to see how weak my teammates are, if they might need help, if I might need to push certain areas, if they're getting deleted quick, basically, if I need to rotate over that way and possibly try to pick up 1 or 2 kills there. Player names, I have it set to show their full name. The horizontal compass, I do have it set to shown. For floating damage numbers, I have it set to enabled. Zombie names, I have it set to show all. And just for a few more icons, I have it set to enabled. For in-game alert icons, I have it set to hidden for my input device. And for my mouse tooltips, I have it set to shown, but that's not really anything I use. For my keyboard and mouse settings, I don't have anything set for that because I play with the controller. My account network settings, this is pretty straightforward here, but I do have cross-play enabled. My cloud save settings I have it set to enabled, and I play on a wired setup. So that's pretty much my settings here in Black Ops Cold War. Take some of those key points that I mentioned, make sure you guys have it all squared away, and let me know down in the comments if you have any other tips as well, or anything else you want to see on the channel. I'm gonna have some more gameplay tips coming for you guys here in another video very soon. So if this helps you out in any way, shape, or form, please consider subscribing to my channel and turning on post notifications to get notified of my videos in the future. If you want to become part of this community that we're building here on Black Ops Cold War around my channel, be sure to join my Discord server and follow me over on Twitch. There are links for everything in the description of this video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Click the thumbs up button. We'll see you guys next time.